Obviously a disappointing effort, disappointing result, and the result we need to learn from and grow from moving forward. I want to give credit to Alabama. Obviously I felt like they came out, played to their potential, and did a nice job in their plan and in the execution of their plan. We were able to put distance between us and them early, and we weren't able to ever really apply pressure. I thought really disappointing the way we finished the game. I thought we had opportunities there to play to our identity through the end of the fourth quarter there. We didn't do it, and I think on the whole you have an effort like that tonight, and you look at everything and say we all got to be better. It starts with me, our coaching staff, the design, and then the execution. And there were breakdowns in each of those areas throughout the night that were costly to us, and this is a growth moment for us as a program. Success isn't linear. You're going to meet these challenges on your journey, and we were challenged tonight, and we fell short. So with that, I'll open up the questions.
What's not working with the pass defense right now?
Well, it's early on they're finding those one-on-one throws, and when you rally and tackle those throws, you over time offenses stall out. It's okay to have a 5-yard game that's knocked back, a 7-yard game that's knocked back, and eventually you can change your shell. But on that second series for them to put their first touchdown, we weren't tackling those throws. And so when you miss tackles on the perimeter, particularly at the number ones, it's a long way away from your pursuit. So it doesn't matter how hard you're playing. That's going to get up your sideline and have a chance. So I thought they were able to do that. I think once it went for 7-8, once it went for an explosive, and then they beat our freshman corner on a one-on-one there to finish it off in the end zone. I thought the other issues were more relative to plays extending. The balls that they were able to find over the middle were more about like an absence of a win up front on a one-on-one pass rush to shorten it down, or just finding coverage late in the down. Because their quarterback's obviously really good at extending and creating, and he was able to do that. But the throws on the perimeter is where we gotta strengthen. This is not new, but we gotta use this bye week to strengthen out there.
It felt like the game turned to some extent on the fourth down on your own 34 in the second quarter. Could you just take me through that decision to go for it?
Yeah, it's 4th and 1, and I'm gonna bet on my team. That's a part of our identity, and we're playing to win the game. And to me, we need to extend drives. We need to convert there, and we need to be able to drive down methodically and score a touchdown. And so, I'm going to bet on my team every time 4th and 1. We came up short, unfortunately, and again, that's going to be something that we scrutinize in terms of the design or the execution. But we're going to go for that, every time.
You mentioned Jeffrey Hugo. Obviously some of the freshmen struggled and some of them made some plays. What do you want them to take away from an experience like this?
Yeah, the play experience is important because it gives them an opportunity to learn through exposure, and that's both good exposure and bad exposure, right? That's going to fuel them forward, and that's not something that's going to help them in 2 years. That's going to help them next week, so that's important. And then also just, I think it's important as a program, when we fall like we did this evening, that we each need to take a part of this forward in terms of just the feeling of this is unacceptable, and we gotta improve our program to a point where we're in tight contested battles in the fourth quarter, and we have a chance to win through the program and the process that we're building. And so I think part of that freshman experience is learning both from the play experience, but also just the feeling after a game like that where you're so disappointed, so frustrated. Now let's take that emotion, let's apply it forward so that we can improve.
Did Julian Hernandez come out okay after that? It looked like he got it shaken up.
He was fine. He got a hand in the eye, and so he was back available.
What situations were you able to see AJ work through in the game when he got out of hand that he kind of handled well and the offense was able to handle well?
Well, we didn't do a lot on offense to say that we handled much well, but I think that I liked the ability to get Will Shepherd the ball, to throw him open. I thought there was good chemistry and connection there to start the second half. Alabama's smart, and they were able to take that away. And in that moment, it's about who you're going to next. And we weren't able to get the run game going, and really weren't able to get anything consistently outside of Will. And so it's an opportunity for others to step up and for us to be better. But I don't know that I would look at anything and say, that was something we did really well. We won some one-on-ones on the perimeter, but we gotta play complementary football. And so when you're stalling out 3 and outs, you're exposing your defense to too much. We need to be better.
You mentioned the end of the game that you weren't happy about that. Was that still just execution, or was there not the effort that you wanted to see in that?
I mean, I want to look at the film and judge it off that. This is a team that it's a team of fighters, and I think on defense in particular, again tonight in some tough situations they stood tall, and so. My instinct tells me it was more execution, but we need to down that football. And it's just, I guess, Robbie, it's just, it just adds some sting to it. It's upsetting. We need to be better, and we'll find what needs to be addressed, and we'll address it.
During the bye week, defensively, do you make significant schematic changes, or how sweeping, will these possible adjustments be?
I think anytime that we don't want to overreact, right? This is about within our package, within our scheme, making adjustments to put our guys in a better position. That does mean we'll look at making some alterations there and maybe adding some stuff that'll help us, but we're not gonna deviate course. This was a tough night and a tough result, and I'm disappointed. The team's disappointed, but again, I go back to what I said. There was never a moment where success just never going to be as clean as you want it to be, and we ran up against the wall tonight, and now we got to fight our way through it. And I got full faith and confidence we'll do that, and we'll show up better after the bye week heading into Ole Miss.
Anything else?
There weren't many positives to take away from this game. AJ did get some good experience against the team, like Alabama's first SEC start. How can he, in the offense, use this team before the games going to the next round?
Well, we got to address the areas that we came up short on, and they're going to be, they're going to be plays that we see on film that he needs to be better through his progression, or the route needs to be run a certain way, or maybe it's a personal thing from a coaching standpoint that we can set up better. But I just think growth is about finding those areas for improvement. And look, every snap that a freshman takes, is going to compound over time. So he'll be better, and we'll be better, and that starts again with our staff. Putting our team in a better position. So I'm expecting them to bounce back, and we will bounce back. That doesn't mean this doesn't sting. We're going to be frustrated with it right now.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, Eli, I guess how can you guys improve the pass rush collectively coming out of the bye?
Yeah, I think we'll go back and look at this tape. We'll look at it, we'll learn from it, and then we'll go in the bye week, kind of take what we learned from this tape and the past 4 games before that, and then build on to the bye week and then take it into Ole Miss. So I think it just takes a little bit of film, a little bit of coaching, a little bit of player application, and we'll get to it next week and week after.
Alabama does do this to teams frequently. How do you guys, as the upperclassmen leaders, keep this loss from affecting you guys in the future? Going forward?
Yeah, I mean, we're disappointed in our performance, but also, you know, it had nothing to do with our opponent. Our goal this year was to play at our highest level as a team, and we didn't do that today. So continuing to have guys on that track doesn't really change now, right? Our goal is to play at our highest level. We didn't do that today, so next week when we got there, we'll still build on that and try to do that.
Anything for Elijah? All right, appreciate it. Thanks. Gavin Stonewall?
Yeah, Gavin, how do you guys move past this as a team?
Yeah, you got to. I think the bye week definitely helps because it gives us some time to do some self-scouting, work on ourselves a little bit. And I mean, this stings anytime you get thumped like this, no doubt. Work your tail off all winter, spring, and summer. And yeah, disappointed, but at the same time, I think it's okay to feel that way. And then now it's just about how we turn around and do it. And the bye week definitely helps. Got some guys banged up that we need to get healthy. And then we need to take it to Ole Miss. So glad we get an extra week to prepare for them, and they come into our place. But yeah, looking forward to watching this tape and learn from it.
What has it been like transitioning to, I mean, you called Mike Bright the heartbeat of the program after the Wake game, and I think a lot of people would agree with that. What has it been like transitioning to AJ at quarterback?
Yeah, well, first off, I can't say enough about Mike. He hasn't blinked. He's been an unbelievable teammate. Obviously, probably doesn't feel good for him what happened, but I'm really proud of him. But we don't blink either, and I'm proud of AJ. I thought he played really well last week, and we got to play better as a whole for him tonight, and we didn't. And so that's disappointing, but absolute faith in both those guys, 13 and 5. Just really, really solid players, and we'll go as far as they'll let us.
It did seem like there was some like miscommunications on run blocking at various points tonight. What do you think was going on there besides the obvious fact that Alabama has a good defensive line?
Well, they do a really good job of communicating up front. I mean, they were like talking to each other left and right, and so they're always on the same page. And anytime you're on the same page, you got to give yourself a chance. And obviously, when you got players like they do, you give yourself a really good chance. So yeah, at the same time, that means we probably got to do a better job of communicating ourselves. And so being able to look at that, whether it's tight end and tackle guard, or center, and even the quarterback, when it comes to points and IDs and stuff. But yeah, I think we can. Everybody on the team is going to watch this and you know, not be excited about our performance, but excited about what we can do moving forward.
Gavin, how was the morale on the sideline? You know, towards the second half of the game, you know, still maybe 30 points coming out at halftime, but you know, with AJ leading the squad, what was the attitude like on the sideline, trying to build something?
Yeah, and well, I think it starts at half, and the thing for us is we really try to say throw the scoreboard out. You know, whether it looks like it did tonight or whether it looks like what it did in Hawaii. We try to play the same. You turn on the tape, whether we're up 40, down 40, or tie game, whatever it is, it's got to look the same. And so for us, that doesn't really change. And I do think that there were some spots tonight where we were playing hard, and some spots that were tough to play hard in. But yeah, and Swan's a great leader, and back to your question as well. I mean, Mike's not playing, but he's still keeping all the guys going on the sideline. He didn't have to do that, and I'm sure somewhere in him doesn't want to do that, but I'm really proud of him for it, and he's an unbelievable teammate, and yeah, I got trust in both those guys, AJ and Mike.